Hey guys, welcome to our weekly news show here on Backstage with Millionaires. I'm Caleb, your host, and it's been an interesting week for Indian startups. We have crypto startups being investigated by Indian tax authorities for potential tax evasion. We also have Curefoods and Glamm Group acquiring a bunch of different companies. And we also have an interesting look at 2021 and how it was an amazing year for Indian startup employees who cashed out on their ESOPs. And we're going to be talking about all of these things and more coming up right after this. All right, so first up in the news, let's start things off by talking about these Indian crypto startups that are now under investigation by Indian tax authorities for potential tax evasion. Now, this started off with Binance-owned crypto exchange WazirX. WazirX was initially investigated by India's Goods and Services Tax Department, who claimed that WazirX had failed to pay 40.5 crore rupees in taxes. However, after this investigation, they ended up recovering 49.2 crore rupees, which included unpaid GST plus interest and penalties. So the simple explanation for what happened here is that WazirX allows traders on their platform to make transactions using Indian rupees and WRX coins. That's their native coin. And they take a commission for both of these types of transactions. However, they were only paying GST on the Indian rupee transactions, not the WRX transactions. And so that's why the Indian tax authorities had to come after them. Now, WazirX has not been silent here. They have made a statement, they've explained themselves, saying that there was an ambiguity in the interpretation of one of the components which led to a different calculation of GST paid. However, we voluntarily paid additional GST in order to be cooperative and compliant. There was and is no intention to evade tax. That being said though, if this is how WazirX interpreted Indian tax law, then it's possible that other crypto startups have made the same mistake, which is why Indian tax authorities are now investigating other crypto exchanges like CoinSwitch Kuber, CoinDCX, BuyUCoin and Unocoin. All right, next up in the news, as we all know, 2021 was an incredible year for Indian startups. They raised $39 billion from investors, which is more than 3x what they raised in 2020. But it was also a pretty incredible year for Indian startup employees. Across the entire ecosystem in 2021, Indian startups conducted ESOP buybacks worth $440 million, which is a record-breaking 9x what they did in 2020, which was $50 million. Now, I know that this is just a statistic, it's not really news per se, but I wanted to highlight it because I know some of you who watch these videos don't actually plan on becoming startup founders. You don't want to be entrepreneurs, you'd rather work as an employee at a startup. And so I wanted to point this out because there has never been a better time to work at an Indian startup than today. All right, next up, this video was made possible by our longtime sponsor, Jungle Ventures, one of Southeast Asia's oldest and biggest VC firms. And today, I wanted to highlight an interview that they posted on their YouTube channel with one of the co-founders of Indian insurtech unicorn Turtlemint. And specifically in this interview, they talk about how the company was actually able to scale in India, which historically has been a very hard thing for insurtech startups to do because of how important trust is in India. Here's my favorite clip from that interview.
Slowly, as we started expanding, we had to solve for trust because when we tried to expand and we would go to this new cities, they had not heard about Turtlemint. So we had some initiatives where we would also do offline engagement with them, but at the same time the journey would be fully digitized. And we started expanding to different cities via our promotion on the digital side, but at the same time also engaging with the community in an offline manner. Quickly, there was a sort of a word of mouth kind of an impact that we started seeing, and we started seeing a lot of organic references that came to us, and we got people to start working with us.
So if you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch the full video, you can find a link to it in the description and pinned comment down below. And while you're over there on Jungle Ventures YouTube channel, you might as well hit subscribe too, because they constantly post really useful and informative videos about startups and the process that VCs go through to invest in those startups. And you can find a link, by the way, to Jungle Ventures YouTube channel as well in the description and pinned comment down below. And thanks to Jungle Ventures for sponsoring this video. All right, moving on to some acquisition news now. Glamm Group is continuing their acquisition spree. Specifically, they've acquired influencer marketing platform Winkle and video analytics platform Viduli, and with these two acquisitions, they're going to be launching Good Creator Co., an influencer marketing platform of their own. So the idea here is that Glamm Group is going to be helping other brands that are outside of their own company, to connect directly with influencers on this platform in order to boost the reach of their products. And historically, this is something that Glamm Group has only been able to offer to brands that are within their own portfolio. But now with Good Creator Co., they're going to be able to offer that same reach to brands that are outside of their portfolio. And so far, this platform is being used now by more than 250,000 creators and influencers, and it's reaching 70 million users every single month. Besides this, Glamm Group is also going to be investing 200 crore rupees in the hopes of building India's largest creator ecosystem. Alright, next up in the acquisition news, cloud kitchen startup Curefoods has acquired 5 new food brands, bringing the total number of brands in their portfolio to more than 20. By the end of 2022, Curefoods is planning on having 25 food brands in their portfolio, spread out across 200 locations in 20 cities, which is a very interesting approach. It's very different from what a company like Rebel Foods is doing, where they're mostly building their own food brands, whereas Curefoods is taking a more Thrasio-style approach, acquiring other brands and adding them to their portfolio as they quickly expand their reach across the country. Alright, moving on to some funding news now, we have what some people are calling India's second startup unicorn of 2022, New York-based Fractal Analytics, which raised $360 million in a funding round led by TPG to become a unicorn. So Fractal Analytics offers AI-powered smart analytics tools for businesses so that they can make better decisions. But here's the thing, Fractal is a 22-year-old company. They started their journey in Mumbai, but then, like many Indian SaaS startups that are targeting an international customer base, they moved their operations and their headquarters to the United States. Now, you might be surprised to hear me say this, but I don't think that the Indianness of this company needs to be questioned. I don't think that it needs to be contested. That is not the point of controversy here, because according to the Supreme Court, a company's nationality does not depend on where it's headquartered or where its employees are or even where its customers are. It depends on where the company was founded. And Fractal Analytics was founded in Mumbai, and so it's an Indian company. However, the thing that needs to be contested here, the point of controversy, is that this company is being called a startup, that it's being called a startup unicorn, because it's 22 years old. Now, as you guys probably remember, in 2021, we had a very similar situation to this, where Five Star Business Finance, which was founded in 1984, was being referred to as a startup unicorn. I don't know how to approach this. I don't know where to draw the line. I'll let you guys figure that out in the comments down below. Do you think that Fractal Analytics should be considered a startup, that it should be considered a unicorn, or should it just be considered a company that's valued at more than $1 billion? Let me know what your thoughts are in a comment down below. All right, next up in the funding news, hyperlocal delivery startup Dunzo has raised $240 million in a funding round led by Reliance Retail at a $775 million valuation. This investment is going to give Reliance Retail a significant 25.8% stake in Dunzo and a foot in the quick commerce segment too. But the most interesting thing about this deal, in my opinion, is that according to Reliance Retail, their merchants on JioMart will now have access to Dunzo's hyperlocal delivery network, which could accelerate their business growth. As for Dunzo, they're currently operational in 7 cities, and they're going to be using these funds to expand to 8 more cities and to strengthen their quick commerce play, as they're now in competition in that space with companies like Swiggy, Grofers, and Zepto. All right, next up in the funding news, skill-based real money gaming platform Zupee has raised $72 million to close their $102 million Series B round, led by Nepean Capital, at a $600 million valuation. So Zupee lets you play casual games like Ludo and Snakes and Ladders while also earning cash rewards while you play. And their app has already been downloaded more than 70 million times now. They're going to be using these funds to add new and interactive games to their platform. They're going to be expanding into new geographies, and they also plan on experimenting with NFTs too. The startup also recently announced a partnership with Reliance Jio, which is going to enable them to distribute their content and their games to Jio phone users. And since Google's Play Store policies don't allow them to list their app on the Play Store, this could really help them to expand their reach across India. All right, that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from it as always. Big thanks now to all of our Backstage with Millionaires members, our unicorns, our decacorns, and our hectacorns. Hectacorns, we have our monthly hectacorn video conference coming up, so look forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to chatting with you guys. And also big thanks to this week's sponsor, Jungle Ventures. These guys are amazing. They have continuously sponsored us through the months, and thank you, Jungle Ventures, for sponsoring this video. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Backstage with Millionaires, and I will see you in the next one.